So I wanted to do a quick video on the this wearable gimbal, the 2-axis wearable gimbal from Feiyu Tech. Now I've been playing with these brushless gimbals now for 2 years. I like these little cheap ones. The first one I bought, which is identical to this one, was a couple of years ago, was $100 or about £60. And it works really well. It's a 2-axis gimbal, it's quite light. It was designed for a GoPro, but because you just strap a camera on, you can use it with the SJ4000 or the Xiaomi Yi or the GoPro. I actually bought a second one and made it into a handheld unit because I wanted a handheld gimbal, but I didn't really want to pay £200. So this is what I've set up, which is, I've got the Yi on there at the moment. So if I just power that on, so you can see that is a 2-axis gimbal, so it will stabilize, roll and pitch, but obviously not yaw. Now I've made up this little handle so I can tilt it down a bit, but obviously whatever angle I tilt it stays to. I've also put a little switch on so I can turn it on and off. Now this has cost me, with the handle and bits and bobs, I've also got an extension pole so I can hold it out at length. I'd say this cost me £50 or £60, so about $100. So still a lot cheaper than a £200 handheld gimbal. But when I saw this wearable gimbal come out, I thought the 3-axis gimbal version is over £200. But I found that you don't really need a 3-axis gimbal because most of the movement you're getting with video cameras is going to be, you know, tilt and roll. The yaw is actually not so much of a problem to control yourself, and if you're stabilizing the video anyway when you're editing it, if you've got a little bit of yaw fidget, it's not a big deal to smooth that out. The main thing is that everything else is nice and solid. So I ordered this gimbal. This is the first gimbal I've bought as a proper gimbal. I've only bought cheap ones before, so this was under £100, and it comes in a lovely case. And here is the gimbal. Now it's very neat. It takes a couple of things I don't like about the handheld gimbals that I've seen before. One is they always come with a 2-battery charger, but they take 3 batteries, so that it comes, I guess, with 4 batteries, but you end up with 1. How do you charge the fourth? How do you charge the 3rd battery, given that your other battery is going to be full or empty? There's no way to balance them out. So this one comes with a 2-battery charger. The gimbal takes 2 batteries. They just slot in under there, and it comes with an extra set of batteries, so you've got 2 sets, which is really nice. So that slots on there very neatly. The camera mount, the GoPro just slides on in there, and then there's a little camera bar that fits around onto it to secure it, which is fine. The Yi will not fit because it's slightly taller than the GoPro. It won't, but the SJ4000 will fit. It just squeezes in there beautifully. You can just stick those clamps on there. There you go. Now it doesn't quite balance perfectly, but it seems to work fine. Now the way that it comes with quite a few accessories. It comes with some instructions, parameters, and it comes with a GoPro mount, so that you can, in a couple of ways, this is how it actually came out of the box, with this mount attached. So this bolts on with 2 little Allen bolts, comes with the Allen key and the bolts, and then that is the standard GoPro mount. So you can then fit that onto anywhere that you put a GoPro. So you can just slot that on there, bolt it on, so you can put that on the buckle mounts. You could fit them on a suction mount. Whatever you've got for GoPro, you could easily fit onto this. So that's a really nice idea. However, what I think is really clever is if you take that off, then you have a tripod screw there and a tripod screw here, which is why I think this is the perfect gimbal for me, because it's going to be really flexible. So if I turn the gimbal on, you can see that's now stabilizing the SJ4000. Now the solid light mode is locked, so it's staying in a fixed angle. Now if the gimbal is upright, then if you yaw, it will follow slowly. So it's still stabilizing out jerkiness, but it will tend to the heading you've got. Obviously when you point it down, then you're getting roll stabilization, but it won't follow that. It'll just hold flat, and obviously it hold the camera flat as you move the gimbal around. Now you can just get one of these little handles and just screw that on the back there, and you've got a very neat little handheld gimbal. You can also use just a standard monopod, which I've got here. So you just screw that on there, and then you've got a longer handle so you can use that, and you can obviously extend that out and use that to go high and do various shots that would be awkward to do holding the camera. So I think that's really flexible, and that's what I'm interested in using it for. Just to show you the other modes, so at the moment this is the hold mode where it'll hold a set angle. Now you can alter that angle. If you just twist the camera and hold it, it will then take that new position. So you can then use that position, or you can tilt it down. And when you tilt it, you feel a little bit of resistance, and then it clicks, and that's it locked. So that is really nice. But the other thing you can do, which you cannot do with a cheap gimbal, is there's also what they call the tilt mode, which is basically like a follow mode. So if I tilt the gimbal up, it will gradually, if I point towards you, roll is obviously stabilised normally, but if I point the camera down, it'll gradually set to that point, and then up it will set to the point again. If I do it sideways, it may be easier to see. So you can see it's smoothing out any jerkiness, but it will gradually follow where I want to go. So that is a really nice feature that you don't get with a cheap gimbal. So anyway, that's about it really. There you go. So I just wanted to show that off really. They also do a one-axis version, which is even cheaper. The one-axis version, I'm not sure how useful that would be. I guess for like a motorbike where you're only really worried about roll, that could work really well. Or possibly for a fixed flying an FPV aircraft, either a fixed wing aircraft, either a wing or a traditional plane. Then maybe you're not so worried about pitch. You're really only worried about rolling to smooth out when you turn. Because again, you can stabilize in when you're editing. You can stabilize a lot of the jerkiness in all axis really. But obviously, if your plane is rolling, you can't stabilise that afterwards. So anyway, I hope that's useful information, and yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with this.